The international community, led by a coalition of Islamic nations, has issued a sharp condemnation of Israel following a surge in regional airstrikes and the implementation of a highly restrictive. While the reopening of the Gaza Egypt corridor was initially hailed as a milestone for the October 11th ceasefire, the practical reality has proven largely symbolic. Under the current mandate, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has restricted movement to a maximum of 50 departures and 50 arrivals per day, specifically prioritizing medical evacuations and those who fled during the height of the conflict. The protocol requires that any individual crossing may be accompanied by two relatives. However, the transition is far from seamless. All travelers are subject to rigorous vetting by Israeli and Egyptian security services and must remain under the continuous supervision of border agents. Foreign ministers from the nations including Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Turkey have characterized these measures and the ongoing strikes as a direct threat to the political process, warning that the lack of genuine mobility risks undermine efforts aimed at consolidating calm. Simultaneously, a high-stakes legal battle is unfolding between the Israeli government and Doctors Without Borders. Israel's Ministry of Diaspora Affairs has moved to terminate MSF's operations in Gaza by February 28, citing the organization's refusal to comply with new registration mandates. The core of the dispute rests on a requirement for aid groups to submit comprehensive lists of all local Palestinian employees to Israeli authorities. MSF has steadfastly refused to provide these rosters, arguing that doing so would place their staff at grave risk and violate the humanitarian principle of neutrality. Conversely, Avi Cohen-Scali, Director General of Diaspora Ministry, has framed the refusal as an evasion of accountability, suggesting that the lists are a necessary security measure to prevent the infiltration of aid groups by militant factions. Avi Cohen-Scali issued a blunt critique of the organization's stance. The world must understand that MSF was given a clear opportunity, but the organization chose to violate a public commitment and evade the basic transparency required of any humanitarian organization. If the organization had nothing to hide, the employee lists would have been transferred to the inter-ministerial team. As the February 28th deadline approaches, the potential expulsion of one of Gaza's largest medical providers threatens to leave nearly 500,000 people without critical health care, further destabilizing an already fractured humanitarian landscape.